All right, so with Astra, Alice, and Soldier Zero Ambi rerunning, you might be wondering if it's worth picking them up. It honestly seems tempting, but let's talk about it. Zenless just dropped what seems to be their first triple rerun banner with the characters I had just listed, and it's going to be guaranteed. Well, your first character will be guaranteed. Another thing is that it's going to be discounted on your first 10 pulls. The downside to it is that your pity that you currently have isn't going to carry over because they are going to be completely different banners with combined pity, that is. And the other problem that comes along with it is that when the banner disappears, the pity that you might have had on it is gone until they decide to rerun another triple banner just like this one. I myself was really hoping that they would add double rerun banners, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be implementing that anytime soon. So this is the best that we can get. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to start off by talking about Astra. Yeah, Astra. Normally, I would immediately say S tier, pick her up. Like, honestly. But things have been kind of shaken up lately when it comes to Astra. A lot of characters don't even really run her as their best in slot these days anymore. Like, literally, the only one off the rip that I can think of is Evelyn. But obviously, she could be paired with so many different units, but she's not going to be the best in slot. Especially now with this new character coming out, it's gonna be a rough time for Astra. So yeah, she's still definitely an insane unit. Probably still S tier, though a lot of people are seeming to want to drop her down into like what tier one instead of like tier zero. So things are kind of crazy with Astra these days. Well, as far as the community is concerned, like their takes on her, but I still think that she is 100% worth picking up. She's an incredible unit. She could be used in attacker teams, Rupture, and Anomaly. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want in a support character, right? But the problem is, yet again, you know how gotcha games tend to rerun a character and then immediately power creep them? It seems to be like what is kind of going on with Astra right now. Like, yeah, well, this is probably what her third rerun or something like that. But yeah, it's looking like she's gonna be power crept with this new unit coming out. Sunna, that is. She's a character you should keep an eye out for because she's gonna be rerunning in the first half of 2.6, which is really unfortunate because Astra is gonna be rerunning right now on this later half of 2.5. So you're not gonna have as many pulls if you ended up pulling for the Void Hunter and her W engine, and you're now gonna be pulling for Astra. So it's gonna be a rough time. And the same thing applies to the next two characters that I'm gonna talk about, that being Soldier Zero Ambi and Alice. So it's pretty rough out here, boys, for us free to play players. That's why for these types of videos, I'll always state waifu over meta, man. Pull the characters that you like, that you think are fun to play. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, don't be a slave to meta. I'm shackled, my boys. I was planning to skip the Angels of Delusion, but Sunna seems like she's gonna be broken AF, man, and I can't skip, bro. Well, I'm gonna have to wait and see, but it's looking like she's gonna be working with Etherveil, and she's gonna be the best in slot for our new Void Hunter. So I'm tempted to actually pull, man. I'm wanting to chase higher scores, and she's gonna get me there. So yeah. All right, but moving on to the next character that I really want to talk about, it's Soldier Zero Ambi. Since I actually have her, well, I have Alice as well. I have all three characters, so yeah. But I love to run attacker teams, and I have her with her W engine and trigger and seed. So I have a pretty much premium team, and I can tell you with certainty, man, she is not worth it to pick up if you do not have these few things. At the very least, trigger. Maybe even I would throw in Astra, bro. Like, she's really good in that team. If you do not have the other pieces for her team, whether it be Orphe or Seed, you're also going to need a pretty good W engine on her, whether it be Mercado Desire or Heartstring Nocturne. I've been telling you guys, pull on Heartstring Nocturne, bro. That is the best W engine in the game. You might be able to run her on Brimstone, but then you're going to have to worry about getting crit damage and crit rate. So, yeah, there's that. But it's worthy to put her on Brimstone. Like, it's a really good W engine. And, well, she's a character that really needs a lot of investment, whether it be her W engine, partners, or even disk drive set. Man, you have to farm an individual disk drive set for her. Like, a lot of attackers in Zenless can just run Woodpecker, but yeah. I mean, you could run her on Woodpecker, but she's way better off with her disk drive sets. And if you do not have a W engine, you're gonna need that crit rate. She kind of reminds me of how in Genshin, if you want to run Ayaka because she's your favorite character, you're gonna have to invest heavily into that character to make her do good. Honestly, she's probably not worth picking up unless she's your favorite character. And you also have to take into account that it has been a while since they ran an electric character, whether it be attacker or anomaly, and there still isn't even a rupture unit that is electric. So we are long overdue, and she's rerunning. So you know what that means. But moving on to Alice now. She's godlike, brother. She's basically Miyabi of physical. She's really good. Though the downside to her is that you kind of really need a decent W engine on her. You probably might need to pick her W engine up, to be honest. Like, I've been kind of noticing that myself lately when it comes to using her on endgame these days. So I'm tempted to actually pick up her W engine on this rerun. I mean, most of you will probably say that she's totally fine like that, but I do notice I do notice the difference when it comes to my Alice at W0 versus other people. So I'm tempted. Basically, TLDR, pick her up if you have Vivian or Bernice. And well, if you plan to pick up her W engine as well, I mean, she could probably run well just by herself with a good teammate, but her W engine makes a huge difference, just like Miyabi and pretty much most anomaly agents. I mean, Alice's second best in slot is Sharpened Stinger, and that only does 85% of the damage that her best in slot would be doing. And then the best free to play option would be Fusion Compiler, and that only does 78% damage. I'm telling you, she really kind of needs her W engine. But yeah, that's a pretty big jump, in my opinion. Like when you compare it to how most attackers can literally just run Brimstone and it be doing 91% of the damage that most of their signatures would be doing, like that's a big jump, man. It's a big jump. Which is why I was saying most anomaly agents need their W engine. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, man. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your opinions were on this. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.